Harlan Fear, Jadine Klomparens, both 4-0. Green-black tokens, Naya mid-range. Nice. I saw someone make a prediction out there. They felt there was going to be at least one Cryptolith right deck in the top 8. Maybe that was Chris Van Meter who said that. As Jadine going to start off with a Canopy Vista, to start off round number 5.
Just another reason to play those Anguished Unmakings.
Yep, it's looking even better now. Blister Pod. And there's a Game Trail. And now just a passing the turn, I believe. Here come the beatdowns from Harlan with the Blister Pod. He'll attack for 1. Jadine going to fall down to 19. Atlanta will waste into, wait for it,
Cryptolith right.
Cryptolith right. This card is cool.
Well, it's a very powerful effect.
Yep. Assuming it hangs around.
Yeah, the question is it worth doing? Like, you have to play so many subpar cards in order to make this card spectacular. You got to have lots and lots of cheap creatures. The question is your payoff big enough to counteract the subpar cards that you play along the way? Well,
Harlan is ramping up quite a bit here. So he plays a Catacomb Sifter. That brings an Eldrazi Sign along with it. The land for the turn is Hissing Quagmire. And now just passes the turn back. Now there's Nahiri,
which can exile an enchantment.
Timely. And it just did. Exile target enchantment, tapped artifact, or tapped creature. So
similar to Anguish Unmaking, Nahiri is kind of a catch-all that can get a lot of different card types off of the board.
The Harbinger takes down the Cryptolith right. Now the question is, can Harlan's deck actually function when it doesn't have that? That's the big question.
Yeah.
He could take care of Nahiri right now if he'd like. Has that option. He'd have to lose the Catacomb Sifter to do as much, it appears. Nahiri's going to fall down to 1. Catacomb Sifter is going to trigger. Time for Harlan to scry. Foundry of the Council is on top of the deck. Now it's on the bottom of the deck. The follow-up. Cryptolith Rights.
All right, another Rights.
Westvale Abbey. Another Catacomb Sifter. All right, all right. Pass the turn back over to Jadine.
And I don't want to speak too soon, but it looks like Harlan might be able to deploy an Ulamog next turn.
I can get behind that. That makes it really hard for the opponent to win.
So he has another land in his hand, which gives him 5 lands. The 4 creatures tapping for mana is 9, and then sacrificing the Eldrazi Scion token is 10 mana.
All right, Nahiri is going to go active, discard a card to draw a card, discard Dragonlord Atarka.
And I don't know if you know this, Ulamog is a big problem once it's on the board.
Oh, is it now?
I'm a little expert analysis from the booth here.
Again, we're going to have to really look into a pay raise. Now, Declaration of Stone is also a big problem.
Oh, that's a good one here.
Because that is looking to take care of Catacomb Sifter. Now, Harlan does get 2 clues, but Harlan doesn't have a lot of interest in clues, I believe.
Well, the clues aren't terrible because Harlan has access to so much mana. But it does mean Harlan cannot get Nahiri off the board next turn. And Nahiri is going to have an option to eat the other Cryptolith right.
Correct. Sylvan Advocate was the follow-up, and now just a passing the turn by Klomparens back over to Harlan Fear. Harlan with a Catacomb Sifter as the draw. Access to 7 mana right now because of the Cryptolith right. 7 is not 10.
It's not even close to 10.
No, it's not. Not at all. So I'm curious how Harlan wants to go about taking this turn, because a couple of different options, honestly. Could start going the maybe the Westvale Abbey route.
So this is the first time we've seen Nahiri hit the board. And we haven't talked about it at all up until now. But it seems like in this format, there's a lot of value in being able to kill some enchantments.
I think so. We've seen quite a few enchantments to start off the day.
Yep. Between the Stasis Snares and the Sulk Wraps.
Always watching.
Always, yep. And now Cryptolith right in this matchup, obviously.
Yep. Jadine will draw. See what she can put together for this turn. Has done a nice job of containing Harlan up until this point. There's an Oath of Nissa. Take a look at the top couple of cards. Looks like a Den Protector. It is. Being able to get back old Dragonlord Atarka or Declaration of Stone might be pretty appealing.
Not bad.
Yeah. Nahiri looking to take care of Crippleth, right? Well, it looks like Harlan's going to start by sacrificing a clue. So he'll draw a card, picks up a forest.
And even if that Ulamog makes his way onto the board, a Declaration in Stone deals with it very cleanly.
Mm-hmm. There's Battlefield Forge. Advocate is now a 4/5. Always has Vigilance, of course. Looks like Death Misraptor might be wanting to come in too. Jadine a little unsure of herself, but it will just be Sylvan Advocate coming across for 4. The follow-up is that Den Protector. That's your morph. And now, Harlan is going to sacrifice a clue. Hit him another copy of Westville Abbey, and now we'll head back his way. Looking to get to 10 mana.
And his board doesn't seem nearly as dangerous without those Cryptolith Rights on it.
Yeah, it's not very exciting.
And like we said, if Jadine rebuys Declaration in Stone, even if one of those Abbeys flips, it's going to cost him all of his creatures and then get exiled the next turn.
Yeah, one of the things that when Westville Abbey does transform in Omendal, it does not hexproof. It's Flying Haste, Trample.
Nope.
No trample. Flying Haste, Lifelink.
Yep.
There's a fourth one.
Indestructible.
Thank you. Look at you. On the ball.
Yep.
Press.
Oh, I was pre-releasing this past weekend.
But does not get hexproof. There's a force for the turn.
Yep, people next to me opening the foil promo Westville Abbeys. I'm like, man, that's so lucky. Maybe I'll get something good.
And what are you opening?
I got a foil. What would you call them? Handlands.
Yes. The Shadowlands, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You opened a foil. Shadowland. Nice.
That is a better name. I don't know why you.
Why I insist?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the hand.
With the Handlands, I don't know. Looks like Sylvan Advocate's going to come across here.
All right, and the Death Mist Raptor ended up in the graveyard,
Good place for that.
which, with a morph already on the board, is kind of where you want it to be.
Some would call it a combo.
Yeah.
Blister Pod on blocking duty. The sign that thing makes actually is quite relevant. We can't forget about that.
Yeah,
There's also a scry that'll take place too, I believe.
there's some value in that little dude.
Yep. And Jadine, follow up. Death Mist Raptor.
It's a lot of raptors.
It is.
The dinosaurs are out today.
And we are in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Harlan will draw a Nissa. Interesting. This is, I think, a really good test for his deck to see how good it is.
And he can Ulamog this turn if he wants to. 7 lands and then the 3 Scions to cast it. But that's a pretty steep cost to be paid when, you have to assume that your opponent's morph is the Den Protector.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Oh, yeah, she got it off
With
of the
Oath,
Oath.
yeah.
Yep. So he's staring down the other end of another Declaration in Stone.
Well, sort of.
Yes.
Could go after the white sources,
Could go after the white sources.
but there are 3.
There's
Okay, so that makes it a problem.
plenty of white sources.
Yep. Now I'm curious, is there a way, because as you mentioned, Harlan has the opportunity and the ability to play Ulamog this turn if he'd like to, but is there a way for him maybe to get Jadine to use the Den Protector, maybe get back Dragonlord Tarka or something?
Yeah.
And then Ulamog comes.
She's in such a comfortable position. I think it would be difficult for him to pressure her enough into doing something like that. Especially, she's staring at the Westvale Abbeys on the board,
Okay.
so she knows that that's a card she has to be careful about.
Nissa. Voice of Zendikar. Looks like it's going to pump up the squadron.
All right, he's going to get defensive here. Hope to make some trades.
Well, I just really think that he needs to lead Jadine down a certain path if he can.
Sure.
I'm not convinced that he can, but I think he needs to try to make it so that this Ulamog does something, which is a really weird thing to say when we're talking about Ulamog.
Well, and maybe it's happening here.
Here's the Megamorph. All right, just going to get back Declaration of Stone.
Well, and hopefully she doesn't think that she can get all of these Eldrazi Scions. Because
That's not the case.
If she targets one, he's going to sacrifice it for mana, and the spell is going to fizzle. She won't get all of them.
What comes next here for Klomparens? Yeah, she could target her own Death Miss Raptors
That would get 3 things.
if she really wants to go clue hunting.
I don't remember how it works.
I'm just laying out the options.
Yeah, I mean, you see all the angles.
I'm just laying out the options. Here come the beatdowns. Three Death Miss Raptors and a Sylvan Advocate into the red zone.
B, aggressive. B-E, aggressive.
And they're all going to Harlan, ignoring Nissa.
Yeah, that Nissa's not doing a whole lot on the board there. Not a priority.
That was a good cheerleading chant.
Oh, yeah.
Very well done. Felt like I was in the movie Bring It On for a moment.
I mean, some of us played sports and some of us cheered for people that played sports.
That's right.
I played Magic.
You were in the third camp.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Also known as the popular kids.
Yeah. Let's see how Harlan wants to go about blocking here. Elvish Mystic is lining up for battle. Potentially.
They haven't made it super clear for us what happened.
All right, so it looks like there's a double block that took place. Now there's some scrying here. Blister Pod, how do you feel?
All right, so the Mystic chump blocked.
I believe there may have been a double block on a Death Miss Raptor. Potentially. But I may have actually not, you're right, there's a chump block on the Advocate.
And the 3/4 Catacomb Sifter
Takes care of the Death Miss
traded
Raptor.
with a Raptor.
Got
Yep.
it. How about a draw? How about a Blister Pod? And a land.
And Harlan does have the ability to block for several turns here between the Westville Abbey tokens that can be generated, the Scion's already on the board, the plant tokens coming from Nissa, a Blister Pod in his hand.
So my question is, does Jadine know that there's an Ulamog kind of hanging out in Harlan's hand? How familiar is she with this deck list? How familiar is anyone with this deck list to think that what is the last card that you're holding, Harlan?
Yeah, it's tough to guess exactly what's in this deck, but I think once you see all these little creatures.
As there's no more guessing to be had.
Well, yeah, the cat's out of the bag.
Yep.
I don't know why someone put a cat in a bag.
But it's out of it.
But now it's out.
Thankfully. So here's Ulamog. There's a cash trigger. And it's going to exile some things. And now the question is, what is it going to exile? Advocate, Death Miss Raptor. Maybe. All right. Advocate, Den Protector. Gone for good. Pass. I still think Harlan's in a bad spot here. You don't say that often after an Ulamog is just resolved.
Yeah, we know the Declaration in Stone is coming. And that leaves Harlan with not a lot of board presence.
3 mana. Nissa.
All right. So this is going to search up a forest.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to play the forest and have the required 7 lands in play for Nissa to flip.
Now, if this card starts to see some play, I'm going to be really happy because I really like this card.
Nissa.
Yes. Nissa Vastwoodseer I've been a really big fan of for a while. I think it's
Yeah.
just a really powerful card.
Yeah, it's just super strong.
Yeah.
You know, if you're an aggressive deck, it's a fine card. If you're a control deck or a mid-rangey deck, still a fine card.
Yep.
Oh, and she chose to draw an extra card instead of deploying. What's the name of that?
The Elemental?
Yeah, the 4/4 element.
Here's a Declaration of Stone. Bye-bye. Flipping this on for you a second. Time for Death Miss Raptor. Those are attacking here. The Sage Animus. Now the 4/4 is Ashaya.
Ashai. I knew it had a name because it's legendary.
Yeah. Probably someone who's sung a song with Ja Rule at some point.
The Awoken World.
Yes.
Ja Rule and the Awoken World.
Yes, exactly. You need someone to sing the chorus, so why not Ashaya?
Ja Rule, he wrote the birthday song?
I don't think that's true.
Oh.
No, I don't think that's true.
I might not be that familiar with Ja Rule.
Yeah. His discography.
Yeah.
Harlan, what did you draw? You're going to start by going clue sacrificing. Picked up another copy of Nissa. That's not going to help a ton right now. This just goes to show you how big Nahiri was this game. If Nahiri did not show up, this game would have been very easy for Harlan.
Oh, I mean, both both Westvale Abbeys would probably be flipped right now.
Yeah.
Ulamog would have come down.
Yeah. This would have been a joke. Instead, Nahiri showed up right on time.
And our watchers at home might not know this. Nahiri can tick up even if you don't discard.
Okay.
You just don't get to draw the card.
Yeah, it says you may discard a card.
So you can always +2 it.
Got it.
Even if you don't want to discard anything.
It's a Planeswalker party. Oh, here's Chandra.
That's an okay card.
Yeah, seen worse.
I mean, one Ulamog takes care of that, no problem.
Is Chandra going up? It appears the answer is yes. So
yeah.
2, 3, 1. Hasty Elemental tokens are on the way. Keep in mind these Elemental tokens do not have Trample. They are not Spark Elementals. Here come the beatdowns. It's an attack for 12. I have to imagine it's all going towards Harlan to try to kill him because who cares about Nissa at this point. Harlan going to take a point to activate a Hissing Quagmire. A block. Well, with a couple blocks here. Looks like Harlan's going to fall down to 3. A Deathness Raptor will bite the dust, given that Hissing Quagmire does have Death Touch. Nissa will tick up. Game Trail. And now Nahiri. And pass.
How often do you see 4 Planeswalkers on the board at the same time?
It's rare. Pretty rare. Might become common in this format, though.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, the Planeswalkers are all very powerful.
Harlan Fear is going to concede the game. So Jadine Klomparens is going to win again and 1 here over Harlan Fear. Now mid-range up a game over green-black tokens as now we turn our attention to the sideboards here for each player. That's a very interesting game number 1 just concluded. For Harlan Fear, it's pretty straightforward stuff here. 3 Duress, 3 Natural State, 4 Clip Wings, 3 Evolutionary Leap, and then 2 copies of From Beyond. Anything you like here in particular?
It's hard to say not being super familiar with Jadine's deck, but I can see him bringing the Duresses in after he saw so many Planeswalkers. And it's possible she's not that aggressive. The From Beyonds and Evolutionary Leaps might come in as well.
Okay. Do we feel like this is maybe a slower matchup? Like, I don't think that Harlan wants it to be slow. I think he'd like to be able to accelerate pretty quickly.
It's tough to, I mean, he can churn so much card advantage out of those cards that it's possible, once he starts deploying multiple Ulamogs or once he finds Zendikar Resurgent, like he's got to get to the payoff cards.
Well, he was not able to get there fast enough, so we'll see if he can this game. For Jadine, 2 Tireless Trackers, 3 Radiant Flames, 2 Evanston's Judgment, 2 Hidden Dragon Slayer, 3 Astarak the Hunt Caller, so she can speed up if she'd like, a Dromoka's Command, a Dragonlord Dromoka, and a copy of Seasons Past.
All right, so we're definitely going to see the Radiant Flames.
Yeah.
Like that entire game, he had 5 guys on the board every turn.
Yeah, that's an auto-inclusion, it feels like.
So that's definitely coming in. Okay. It's possible she'll want the Evanston's Judgments. She can madness them when she discards them to Nahiri.
Okay, sure.
And then spread the damage around to kill a lot of the little tokens.
Okay. So just contain the tokens.
Yeah.
And if you're containing the tokens, then you're actually containing the Cryptolith right.
Yeah, exactly.
So that does make some sense. There's the options there for both players. Game number 2 will be underway here between Fear and Klomparens in just a moment. But very quickly, we'll talk about the StarCityGames.com newsletter. It is your source for Magic the Gathering news, where you can get the latest on the SCG Tour, watch the SCG Tour Match of the Week, which is going to be one of these fantastic matches that we watch this weekend, receive exclusive deck list and advice this month from Matthias Hunt, catch up on all the event results, and read an exclusive cardboard crack comic. Best of all, it's free to sign up for. Go.StarCityGames.com/newsletter. Get signed up today and enjoy some awesome Magic the Gathering content.
It's all good.
Plus, I'm in there.
Yeah, who was that handsome gentleman? It was you.
It was me. Handsome devil. Harlan Fear, take a look at that hair. Boom, that's a handsome devil right there. Is the 21-year-old from Charlottesville, Virginia.
Is that another head of hair that you're jealous of?
Yes. I can't ever do that.
What would you do with that?
What wouldn't I do with that?
No, but I guess my question, he's just showing it off in its entirety.
Okay.
Look at all this hair.
Yes.
I'm asking if you would do something more specific with it.
Well, I would do something that he does as well, which is donates his hair after it reaches a certain length.
Sure.
But while it was long, I don't know. I just throw it around. Look, there's so many different things you can do with it, right? A lot of different styles. Put color in it. Just put it in a ponytail. You can do anything you want. When you have that much hair, the world is your oyster.
Sure.
I can't do anything.
Just walk into any meeting and just be like, I'm in charge now. Have you seen my hair?
Pretty much. Yeah. That's how that kind of works.
Yep.
You can, if you're listening to rock music, you can just throw your hair around a lot.
Oh, man.
Which, has always been something I've never been able to do.
Yeah, it's all upside.
Correct.
I hadn't really thought about this before.
There you go. He's a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan, which I do not approve of because I'm from Cleveland, and a former wrestler in high school, which I do approve of because I was one of those as well.
Sure.
So, two pluses, 1 minus for Harlan on his player profile.
The hair donation, that's actually something
That's a huge plus.
Yeah, it's a double plus.
Okay, so 3-1?
Yeah.
3-1, okay. But the Steelers is a huge minus.
Maybe he's born into a Steelers family.
Being a Steelers fan is easy. It's not hard to be a fan of a team that always wins.
But they are diehard fans.
They are. They're actually really good fans, but
Yeah.
just born to dislike them. Sorry. It's just the way it is.
Yeah,
It's just the way it is. Nothing against Harlan. Just can't do it. Can't do it. You're a Jets guy. Jets have anything with the Steelers? You just dislike them?
we lose 2 games every year to the Patriots. So we kind of have our hands full.
You're a little busy?
Yeah, I mean, we could start disliking some other people, but we need to focus our energy right now.
They're a tough team to beat, so there is that. Never easy. You beat the Patriots 1 game last year, I thought. Didn't you?
We've actually been giving the Patriots a handful over the last couple of seasons, but our overall record has not been as stellar as theirs. So.
Yeah. Well, they practice excellence any means possible. That's what the Patriots do. They practice excellence by any means possible.
Any cheat possible.
No, any means. That was the word I used on purpose. Any means possible.
Okay, sure.
I have no horse in the Patriots race. I'm indifferent towards them, but they do what they need to do.
You are not indifferent towards that
No,
team.
I hate them like everyone else.
No one is indifferent towards that team.
I heavily dislike them like everyone else does. Yeah, no one.
You're really trying to be political about
I
that.
am.
Just walk the middle of the road.
You just called me right out on that. You wouldn't let me do that.
Hey, I'm just going to tiptoe along this line. No, you're not.
Okay. I apologize. I do. Game number 2. About to be underway here between Klomparens and Fear in just a moment. It's a hissing quagmire for Harlan as we head Jadine's way. Fortified Village, Oath of Nissa. And take a look at a couple of cards here. Declaration of Stone among them.
Oh man.
Wow.
It's the rare Oath of Nissa miss.
That's a miss with Oath of Nissa? That never happens.
Well, her deck has a lot more going on that she can miss with. Especially after sideboard, if she takes out a few of the creatures. You need to be careful with your deck building sometimes. You're going to get burned now and then.
Yeah. When you do make your deck a little bit more spell dense, this can happen. It's like missing with an Ancient Stirring sometimes, which is very rare. But boy, it does not feel good when it happens.
No, her deck has a lot of enchantments and planeswalkers here. Yeah, that was pretty unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
Initially I thought a lot of these spells were instants and sorceries, but no, they're mostly enchantments and planeswalkers. So it'd be real hard for her deck to miss.
There's a Shadowland. It's a game trail. Reveal Forest. Deathmist Raptor is here. Now there's Blister Pod here for Harlan. Now he's got a Catacomb Sifter. He's got a Nissa out there. Nissa's going to tick down, make all these creatures a little bit larger. And you see what his deck is up to.
And this looks like the route he can take where he doesn't need all of the mana. Mm-hmm. It's just the go-wise strategy. Nissa's making all of his boys into even bigger boys and girls.
Well, I mean, I think this is where things get a little bit more difficult for Jadine, because it wouldn't surprise me. I think it's certainly within the realm of possibility that Harlan said, you know what, I'm going to board out the enchantment, the Cliptooth Right, and just say, I'm just going to play a normal game of Magic. Maybe an Aristocrats-esque game of Magic and see what happens.
Sure, and if he has 1 or 2 more creatures again next turn, he just goes down with Nissa again. Mm-hmm. His guys have turned into real potent threats.
Yeah, and then Jadine's got a Deathmist Raptor against this entire gang.
One, another minus from Nissa, that Deathmist Raptor just trades with a 1/1, mm-hmm. you know?
For Jadine, after missing with an Oath of Nissa, playing a Deathmist Raptor, we know she has a forest. She'll play a Fortified Village, reveal the forest again, and let's see what the play is. It's Nahiri. Nahiri is going to go up. Jadine's going to discard a forest, draw a card. Pass a turn back, but that's not really the turn she was looking for. Does not really affect the board. Now, here's a Duress very quickly from Harlan.
Well, and Duress is a really good card for him there because it tells him if he needs to worry about Nahiri. Mm-hmm. If he sees Avacyn's Judgment sitting in her hand, he has to go and kill Nahiri. But if he looks at a hand like that, he knows he can just go after her if he wants to.
Yeah, the hand was Jamoka's command and a couple of lands. Jamoka's command bites the dust from duress. A couple of lands left in Jadine's hand. And Harlan says, I'm going to attack you with all of my creatures. Deathmist Raptor can trade with one of them if you'd like.
Well, it can
Guess he can eat the plant.
Yeah, it can eat the plant. That's the easy block, I think.
And that's exactly what it's going to do. But a healthy chunk of damage is going to be taken away here from Jadine.
Oh, and he leaves a card on top. That's not what you want to see either.
No.
So Nahiri's going to get something here with the exile ability. -2 to exile a tapped creature.
Yep.
The Deathmist Raptor is still there. Nope, she's saying...
She's got to find something better than that.
Yeah, dealing with one thing right now is not going to be nearly good enough.
Fortified Village is going to be the discard, and Jadine's going to concede the game. Did not find what she was looking for with that Nahiri activation. And now Harlan Fear ties things up against Jadine Klomparens. Green-black tokens, Naya mid-range, going to game number 3.
And that game, the green-black tokens deck played out almost like the mono-white creature deck that we saw. It got on the board real quick, played a lot of creatures, and then Nissa just acted as a double Glorious Anthem effect. And Jadine was not close to keeping up.
We'll take a look at these sideboards here one more time for each player. Jadine's going to be on the play here. You can see the Tireless Trackers, the Radiant Flames, which I think are in. Same with Avacyn Judgment as well. I don't think too much changes. I imagine the other Jamoka's command came in as well.
Sure.
Just another way to kill enchantment.
Yep.
I am curious to see what Harlan boarded out for Duress, and we did see that he had a copy of Ulamog in his hand when that game ended, so it leads me to believe that Cryptolith Right is still in the deck.
Yes.
So it makes things a little bit interesting as they do shuffle up here for game number 3. And while they do that, we will talk about the StarCityGames.com YouTube page. It's where you can go back and watch the replays of many things, including our Versus series, which is very popular on StarCityGames.com. Premium archives of Magic Online videos, SCG2 archives like what you're watching right now, unboxings, and so much more. YouTube.com/StarCityGames is where you can go to become a subscriber and become one of over 90,000. We're looking to that 100,000 subscriber mark soon.
That is a big deal.
And a lot of people
who
like our content. So we thank each and every one of you who do subscribe. YouTube.com/StarCityGames is the hyperlink to check out all of that content. And a little spoiler, we're going to have some more cool, unique things going on that YouTube page pretty soon.
More unboxings?
Different stuff. Different stuff. You'll be surprised. I think you'll enjoy it, though.
So I fire up the old coverage so that when I'm falling asleep, I can hear the sound of your silky voice.
You're doing really good at keeping this job.
Yeah.
Perfect. I did not goad him into saying that at all. That was just natural, out of his mouth statement. Very well done. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You excited for the next show you're going to do? Orlando?
I'm very excited.
Yeah? It's going to be in the middle of the summer. It's going to be beautiful in Orlando. Maybe a little warm.
No, and I hear Star City's going to fly us out a week early so we can enjoy the beach.
Oh, I hadn't. We can discuss that.
Is
I
that
hadn't heard that.
That wasn't said. That's just what I heard.
That's just what you heard. Yeah, someone
Okay.
told you that. I hadn't heard that yet.
Oh,
The lovely Orlando Beach. A little trip to Disney World.
sure, man.
Don't mind if I do. See some of the wonderful Orlando Magic players we haven't seen in a little while. We haven't been to Orlando in some time, so I'm excited to go back down there. Really good Magic community down there.
Florida is nice
It's beautiful.
for weather and for Magic.
Yes. Truly wonderful. Game number 3 underway. It's a fortified village here for Jadine to start. For Harlan, a forest, Blister Pod, pass the turn back. You don't just come to a tournament and sleep with Blister Pod. It's got to be good if it's in your deck. Here's a Sylvan Advocate. Harlan will draw, picks up a forest for the turn. There's a Land of War Waste. This is a Hangerback Walker for 1. He'll pass the turn back over to Jadine.
Hangerback Walker with Nissa can be very good.
Combo.
Yeah. Gets out of control.
Combo deck. Battlefield Forge, Advocate, Snap Block.
Wow.
Give me that Scion token.
He must have a plan for that Scion token.
Here's a Morph. Pass the turn. Draw a card. Force the draw here for Harlan. Curious to see what he's up to here, because that was a very fast block. Another Hangerback Walker. And Harlan will pass the turn back. We're heading back Jadine's way. Both these players 4-0 here in Baltimore, as there's a forest for the turn.
I always want to see someone be real tricksy and morph down to Deathmist Raptor.
Yeah?
Because you're like 99% sure of what it is every time it's down.
Yeah.
You know, because she could have just cast the Deathmist Raptor face up, and it's better face up.
In matchups that have a decent amount of removal, I like more from the Deathmist Raptor on turn 3.
It happens so rarely.
Yeah, I like to try to get people. Get a little too cute sometimes. Nahiri going to go up. Jadine going to discard something. There goes another copy of Nahiri. Pick up a new card. Pass the turn back over to Harlan.
Oh, Harlan, you didn't put a counter on your...
That is an error. Yep.
He just realized. Yeah, you see him realize. I've been there.
Yep.
Yeah. You're drawing that card and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Can I go back? No? Okay.
It's not the pre-release?
No, no it's not.
REL 0.
Yeah. Nissa. It's going to put counters on friends. And pass the turn back. Westville Abbey, really easy to transform in this deck. Not hard at all.
Well, he's got to be a little careful here. Nahiri exiles, so if she can pick off a Hangerback Walker, he's not going to get the Thopter tokens from it.
Mm-hmm. So here you're going to go active again.
And it gets big quick, so it's tough to attack it just one time and have it not be on the board anymore.
That's a fortified village. The reveal is a Canopy Vista. And Unmegamorph, a Den Protector. We'll get a +1/+1 counter, of course. I mean, more than anything, this is that so that Jadine can attack.
Yep, she's going to get to finish off Nissa. I don't believe she's returned a card yet.
She is not. The question is, what does she want to return?
Probably either card is just fodder for Nahiri in the future.
Okay. Battlefield Forge was the choice. Nissa going to bite the dust. And Hangerback Walker will take up to 3. I believe 2 copies of Scion Summoner here in Harlan Fear's hand.
And that Westville Abbey, which he's being a little cagey, holding it in his hand as long as possible, which I really like.
Me too. Take Jadine by surprise.
Yep. Yeah, being able to play that and then transform it in the same turn.
It's a big deal.
Pretty potent.
See what comes next for Harlan.
It looks like the game is kind of grinding down into a situation where neither player is going to be able to attack. You know, if Harlan attacks, he opens himself up to the Nahiri minus, and Jadine doesn't want to attack into these Hangerback Walkers and open them up to a bunch of tokens.
Now you see the ultimate here for Nahiri. -8, search your library for an artifact or creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. It gains haste, return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. That's online.
And she has 1 Dragon Lord Atarka that she can search, which is actually extra good because she gets to deal 5 damage when it comes into play. It'll return to her hand, and then she gets to redeploy it for 5 damage again the next turn.
Okay.
Which seems pretty good when you're playing against the token strategy and you've got to kill multiple threats every turn. So Harlan attacked Nahiri to keep it off of the ultimate.
But opens up his Hangerback Walker to being killed by Nahiri.
Yeah, he lost a creature in there, and he opens up his Hangerback Walker.
Sure. Interesting. Nahiri's going to go up. Jadine.
I guess Jadine is not worried about that Hangerback Walker right now.
I suppose not. Discard then draw. What's the next play here? Fortified Village revealing Canopy Vista. Just simply pass the turn back.
And the Advocate is bigger.
Landmore waste the draw. Westville Abbey still at the ready. The question, of course, is just how does he want to use it?
Oh, he's going to continue attacking Nahiri here. He's saying, even if you kill my Hangerback, I'd like having the tokens on the board.
Okay, there's the tokens. There's the Westville Abbey.
Yep.
This is where things get ugly.
Is that an Archangel Abyssin?
I believe it is. All right. Just another way to kill tokens.
Yeah, if she manages to get one of her other creatures to die, Davison can flip and clean up a lot of Harlan's board.
This has been our first real opportunity to see Westvale Abbey at work, however, and the ability to actually transform. So I'm curious. You know, we've seen a couple different angles from Harlan's deck, right? We've seen the play a bunch of idiots and put +1/+1 counters on with Nissa. That was effective in game 2. We've seen the try to get you with Cryptolith right version of the deck, and Jadine actually just had her cards line up perfectly against that. And now we're seeing the Westvale Abbey portion of this deck. So this is kind of a green-black tokens aristocrat deck that has a couple of different game plans. One of the things we haven't really seen him draw, you know, a card like Loam Dryad or Zendikar Resurgent. But this is interesting.
So as we said before, it does not have trample. So her answer to that card is exiling it with Nahiri if it becomes tapped.
Correct.
So the Avacyn was a very good draw for her, or you know, maybe she already had it in hand, but it was very good for her because she can chump block it for a turn, keeping Nahiri on the board.
Another thing I like about this too is that it kind of contorts the way that Jadine plays, right? There's a 9/7 looming.
Yes.
That she can't stop. And as a result, you know, Archangel Avacyn can't really attack. So this is a kind of a weird thing where I think that Harlan is dictating kind of the terms of engagement, which is where he wants to be.
Yeah, and in the meantime, the Hangerback Walker just keeps getting bigger and bigger until it gets cashed in.
Jadine, you saw plus Nahiri, discard Oath of Nissa, draw a card. Now, will Harlan use this Westvale Abbey? That's my question. Pretty attractive. All right, so he's going to sacrifice a Scion to activate Hangerback Walker, and now I believe he'd like to make a token Westvale Abbey, and he does. So he's got to pay a life to make that 1/1. And there's a human cleric, both white and black. Elvish Visionary the draw.
So if I were Harlan, I think I would have just kept my 1/1 sign on the board.
Okay.
And put a counter on Hangerback Walker with my mana.
Okay.
And not lost a life.
Okay.
No, it's the same situation he's in now, but he'd have a 1/1 that can sacrifice for mana.
Okay.
Instead of a 1/1 black-white cleric. And, you know, one more life.
Den Protector is what's found with Oath of Nissa, so that'll be added to Jadine's hand. Nissa, Nahiri going up. Game trail down, new card coming. Well, what's next? Looks like Canopy Vista, which is awkward because it's got a ton of lands, but does not have 2 basics.
Yeah.
It's unusual. Morph. Almost 100% Den Protector.
It's a mystery. Could be anything.
Yep. Passing. Hangerback Walker growing. And paying a life for another human token.
Yeah, and this awkward stalemate, I would think favors Harlan's deck a lot.
I think so.
He's got a few just absolute bombs that he can rip off the top.
I mean, this could be a game where Ulamog plays a pretty big role.
Yeah. If he draws an Ulamog, it's really big. Zendikar Resurgent is a good card, but he is staring at Nahiri with all of those counters, so it wouldn't be on the board for very long.
Jadine will untap, she'll draw.
Even a second Westvale Abbey is just a spectacular draw for him.
Yeah, multiple copies are good. Discard Canopy Vista, draw a card. What's next?
It looks like a Dragon Lord Atarka in her hand.
She does have one in hand and the ability to cast it. Plenty of mana to do so. And it looks like it's time.
Now, she might almost be interested in killing one of her own creatures.
Aha. Okay.
Because it would mean Avacyn would flip on the following turn.
Looks like all the damage is going to go to Harlan's creatures. We'll find exactly how the damage is being split up Hangback Walker going to go active. I think we might see a Westville Abbey activation, however.
Definitely.
Yep. Going to sack Hangback Walker. 7 Thopters on the way.
And
Yeah, it was just all the tokens.
so he's going to end up with 7 Thopters and a 9/7 Demon.
Yes. Angry demon. Yeah, Harlan should have 7 of those.
Yeah, he's saying keep them coming.
Yep.
It's Thopter time, baby.
All right. So now what's next? No draw. Did not get a great look at it. From Beyond. I'm going to start with Elvish Visionary.
From Beyond is another card which, in this slow, clunky game state, favors him. But
Yep.
once again, Nahiri exiles enchantments.
Now we'll take a look at Nahiri one more time. Because it is an exile effect with the minus, but it's exile target tapped creature.
Enchantment, tapped artifact, or tapped creatures.
Correct.
So Harlan can't effectively attack right now.
That's interesting to me. And it's just Ormondal has to hang back on defense.
Yeah.
One heck of a defender it is, obviously. And so now I think, I didn't think these are words I was going to say today. Now the plan is to play defense with Ormondal until you can find Ulamog to clear the board and allow Ormondal to attack.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a normal game. In the meantime, here comes Den Protector. I'm going to block. And this is Dramoka's command. Now let's see what happens here.
It looked like she indicated. Yeah.
All right, so sack an enchantment and fight. So Den Protector is going to bite the dust. But more than anything, this means that Archangel Avacyn's going to transform,
Yep.
which is something I think that she wanted all along.
Yes. So she's battling back into a position here.
Thopter's down, Avacyn the Purifier here. Harlan will take 3. Ormondal still here. There goes. Harlan did not gain any life because of that. Now here's an Elvish Mystic. Draw a card. Catacomb Sifter. Has to pay a life to cast that. Yeah, Harlan did not get the opportunity to gain life with Ormondal because of the fight beforehand. Okay.
And this Ormondal lifelink on a 9-power creature means you can't even go wide against it.
Yeah, there's no good way to do that. Nissa, maybe? Den Protector. Okay. Weird game.
This is very strange.
Harlan will sacrifice that. He wants to scry with Catacomb Sifter. Draw. Hissing Quagmire is the land. There's a Scion Summoner. There's a Blister Pod. He's out of gas.
And we have a Planeswalker with 18 loyalty on the board. I mean, this is one of the stranger games.
Den Protector's going to return Den Protector, and Death Mist Raptor will jump out of the graveyard with it. Radiant Flames the draw. Nahiri has 20 counters. Discard Nissa, draw. Jeff Hoagland, you can see in the background, is loving this.
He's eating something. He's got dinner and a show there. Yeah.
He's like, forget my match. I think he may have already won. Yeah, he's got food and everything.
Yep.
He's just saddled up. Harlan will sacrifice a Scion. That'll unscry Force to the bottom. Take a draw. I think it may have been a From Beyond. Didn't get a great look. There it is.
I don't expect that to stay on the board.
Nope. Den Protector will unmegamorph. Didn't get a great look to see what she returned. Hopefully we can find out if she takes her turn.
I believe there was another Den Protector
Sure.
in the bin. It's possible that's what she got.
Nahiri has 3,000 counters on it now. There's a Battlefield Forge. This might be a Sylvan Advocate.
Our viewers might be hearing the time call in the background, but You can see they've got their own clock. That's what we're working with here.
A little bit of an extension, given the feature match area. Harlan will draw. Hello, Ulamog. That he cannot cast. Pass.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know what it would kill right now.
This is not your typical game of Magic.
Den Protector will Megamorph again.
The third Den Protector because, yeah.
All right. Jadine going to quickly untap. We get to the stage now where she's clearly digging for something. I have to imagine it's Declaration in Stone. Assuming those are still in her deck.
Yes.
It's the only thing that would make any sense. I'd want to know what Jeff's eating. My guess, peanuts. I'm going with peanuts.
Yeah, maybe a trail mix.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually an interesting point. The Declaration Stones might all be on the bottom from the Oath of Nissa on the first turn because she's not shuffled yet.
Sure. That was this game where she looked at.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the Mist with the Oath game.
Double Declaration and
another spell.
Radiant
Flames, I think, yeah. Yeah, no fetch lands. Don't get the shuffle. Ha! Good.
Oh, the fetch lands.
Good.
They make for some good Magic viewing.
Yeah, sure do.
Yeah.
Good Magic something.
Hopefully those will get reprinted as soon as possible.
All right, Harlan.
Yeah, Harlan.
We're getting closer to Ulamog. That it's funny because like I think the Ulamog is pretty mediocre, but Jadine's going through her deck really fast.
Yep.
So it's realistic that like if Ulamog comes down, it will take one attack, mill or exile 20 cards, and then she has no deck anymore.
Yes.
Oh, there's a Radiant Flames that nope. I don't think she's looking to use that just yet. Discarded Nahiri to Nahiri.
This Nahiri's got to be setting some records for loyalty.
Most loyalty on a Planeswalker. I've had some pretty large Karn Liberateds in my day, but then I just decided I wanted to restart the game, so I just moved on.
I mean, I think it's 26 right now.
I believe so.
Yeah, I can't imagine you had a Karn close to 26.
No. Draw a card. Founder of the Councils. Hello.
All right.
We're up to 9 mana. Pass the turn back.
This is exciting.
Jadine, discard very quickly to Nahiri. Draw a card.
Yeah, like you said, she's.
I think she could still lose.
She used Nahiri a lot.
Yeah, I still think she can still lose. That'll land? Yes. All right. 10 mana. Ulamog. What are we targeting?
What are we targeting? Nahiri?
Nahiri and
the Dragon
Lord
Lord, sure.
Tarka.
That makes sense.
So does this mean that Umendal can attack? I don't think so. Because I think Ormondal is better served on defense as a 9-point lifelink swing.
Well, and he doesn't want to expose it to a Nahiri.
Yes.
You know, this game has gone long enough that she very well might have the 4th Den Protector or another Nahiri in her hand.
Yep.
And if you think just attacking once with Ulamog is going to be your game winner, why would you send...
Well, we're doing little card counts here, huh? She's counting. We can ask our spotter down there and see how many cards are left. We don't want to tip him off in the booth. 22.
Yeah, Harlan looks a little excited there.
Yeah.
He's got the hand rub going on.
Time to draw. How?
Now, we know the bottom cards of her deck
Pretty sure.
are some Declaration in Stones.
No, well, she casts another Oath of Nissa.
Oh, yes.
So I think he may get all the Declaration of Stones, and then it's a no for. 2 cards left. 1 Declaration, 2 Declaration.
I think I saw 3 in there.
Yeah? Harlan, follow up. Catacomb Sifter. He just needs to gum things up.
Yeah, it looks like he used his Hissing Quagmire there to cast the Sifter.
I don't love that.
Well, it saved him a life from the Painlands.
Okay.
But it might just be better served as a blocker.
Well, we can't forget also that Harlan is at a virtual 23.
Sure.
In theory, because of Ormondal.
Ormondal is definitely good. Well,
in theory.
Yeah, so we don't know that for sure. It's possible that whatever he blocks, Jadine can kill her own creature to prevent that.
And Jadine, I believe, has 2 cards left in her deck. And I would be just as confused as she is right now about how the heck to get out of this situation.
What happened this game? I had a Planeswalker with 30-something counters on it.
Yep.
And
yeah. Jeff's enjoying it just as much as we are.
somehow I could never attack.
Yep. Jadine's turn 0 in time. I don't know how many more turns we're going to have. And Jadine's trying to figure out, is there a way that I can attack that is profitable here? And more importantly, not die on the counterattack.
Yeah.
Assuming there even is a counterattack. Because this is probably her last game. Or this is probably her last turn. All right, unmegamorph Den Protector. Get a +1/+1 counter out there.
So Jadine's thought about this for a while, and obviously she only has a turn or two, so she's putting a plan together.
Yep. All right, Nahiri coming back.
Yep. If we want to attack more than once or play more than a couple turns, we can't let that Ulamog attack again.
All right, so Jadine's going to be turn number 1, not turn 0, as all that was taking place at the end of Harlan's turn. So here come the Knuckleheads. Hormandal would like to block.
And she has a command. Yep.
Now she can fight her own creature. Now I'm curious to see what other stuff Harlan blocked with, if anything. There's a healthy amount of damage is being dealt here, I have to imagine. Harlan only falls down to 4. All right, now here he's going to definitely exile Ulamog. Yep.
Oh, I guess it was just the Den Protectors that attacked.
It was like the Den Protectors, maybe the Sylvan Advocate.
I can't imagine.
Oh, this Avacyn's Judgment. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this one. This is the first time we've got to see this cast today.
And she's going to fireball him for 4 here. So.
Yep, X is 4, targeting Harlan, which is
I said
exactly enough.
She might bring some of those in to discard specifically to Nahiri.
Yep.
And after all of that, we thought it was just over for her.
Well, I thought it was over for Harlan, then over for her,
Yeah.
and then over for Harlan,
Yeah.
and then over for her again. And the combination of Jamoka's command, timely fighting her own creature, Nahiri activating who knows how many times,
Yep.
but the final Nahiri activation being the biggest one, allowing her to Madness Avacyn's Judgment to deal just enough, is why Jadine Klomparens is the winner of this match over Harlan Fear. 2-1, Naya midrange takes care of green-black tokens.